Charlie, and this is a tutorial for the Computer and Networking Security courses Lab 4. In this tutorial, we go over group policy objects in Windows, specifically passwords. There's a little difference between the guide and the tutorial, but I explain that as I go through. Let's get started.
We're going to start here at the course homepage and then go off to the left here and find the course tools section and click on the Online Labs link. That will take us here to the Online Labs section where we want to go down to number 4 to configure group policy objects in Microsoft Baseline Security Analyzer. Let's click this and you'll be here at the Toolwire Live Labs page. And scroll down to the Lab Access link, and if we click this, it should take us to this desktop. And the first thing we need to do is find our RDP folder that's listed in the guide, and you'll see it up here. The name is truncated, but if you go here and mouse over it for a second, you'll see the name, or you can just click on it and it'll expand the name for you. But let's go ahead and double click the only entry here in the folder, and you can go ahead for, if this warning comes up, just go ahead and click the OK button. All right, and that'll get us started. Now once we're at this workstation, let's go ahead and click on Administrator and log in with the password that's in the guide. Alright, now that we're here, let's go on down to the Start menu and find Administrative Tools. And in here we want to find the Group Policy Management right there. That launched. I'm going to go ahead and full screen this so you can see everything. Alright, now and the very first thing that we want to do is we want to edit the policy. So let's go over here, and here you can see you have Group Policy Management and all the nodes. I'm going to go ahead and click on the plus next to these to open them up so you can find the section that we're actually looking for. Go down here, Group Policy Objects, and click this, and off to the right it'll show some information. You'll see the password GPO that we're looking for. So right click and hit Edit, and make this larger also. Now we want to go over to the Policies folder. Off to the left, you'll see that in the navigation pane to the left here. Over to Policies. You can click it, or I prefer to click the plus key here, and it'll expand each one out. We need to go to the Security Settings folder right here. And I'm going to go ahead and make this pane a little bigger so we can actually see all the entries in here. A little easier to see. Not that we need to, it's a lot better that way. So now the account policies, go ahead and look for the password policy. So let's just expand this out. Click on password policy, and here off to the right you'll see the actually policy settings. So you see the password must meet complexity requirements. In the guide it says enabled, but it says disabled here. But I want you to double click on it. And I'm going to go ahead and enable it here since that's what the guide expects it to be. After all, it is just a lab. So click Explain tab here, and this will give you greater detail about what this setting is for. And then once you're done reviewing this, go ahead and just click OK. Alright, you can see it's enabled now. The next thing we need to do is we're going to look for the minimum password length setting. So you click this one. You'll also notice that this one is different from the guide as well, because the guide says 8 characters and here it says 5. So I'm going to go ahead and increase that up to 8 to be just like it is in the guide. And again, we can click on the Explain tab up here to get greater detail about this setting. So we want to take the time to review this information. And when you're done, just go ahead and click OK. And you'll see now that it says 8 characters. Alright, so now we're done here. We can go ahead and close this window. And our next step now is to right-click on VLabs Local and link an existing GPO. Under here we're going to select Password GPO, and all we have to do is hit OK. Alright, now what we want to do is go over to the change we just made. Let's right-click on that password GPO and click Save Report. And And there we go. Took a while there. So once this comes up, we want to name it password GPO. It's already named that way. We want it to be an HTML file. As you can see, there's different choices, but HTML is already selected. And we want to save this to the desktop. So just click here at desktop and just click save. All right, and once you saved it, let's go ahead and close that out. And there's your GPO file. So let's go ahead and double click on that and open that up in the web browser here. It'll automatically come up. All right, and once that's up, you can review all the information here that was contained in the report. You can see here some identifying information. And if we scroll down, you'll see the settings, the changes that you made. And you'll see down here at the bottom where it says 8 characters and enabled. And that's the changes you made. So once you're done actually reviewing all this information and familiarizing yourself with it, go ahead and close this window. And now what we want to do is just open up the computer icon. And let's go over to our desktop, and we want to right click here on the GPO file, on the report file. We want to click on copy. And then we need to go over to the left here in the left pane to computer and click the little plus sign here. When you click that, you'll see the drives that it's talking about in the guide. So go ahead and click on C on base lab. And then we need to actually find the home directory of the other computer, and that's on the documents and settings folder, administrator, and then desktop. So once you get in here, just go ahead and right click and click on paste, and that will put that file on the original computer we were on. So we're done with this. Now let's go ahead and shrink this down, minimize it, and you'll see, let's move this out of the way, and you will see the password GPO file, the HTML file that we just copied over. So you can go ahead and click on file transfer, download that because you'll need it for turn-in. All right, now let's go back to the other workstation. And this time we're going to go ahead and open up the actual baseline security analyzer. So let's double click on this icon. Now this comes up, let's go ahead and click on scan a computer. And we need to uncheck the check for security updates box. So let's go ahead and uncheck this. It's not connected to the internet, so it's not going to work anyway. And we can just go ahead and click on start scan. So right down here, just click on this. And once the scan is complete, you can review the information. It's always good to know what's going on. And click copy to clipboard. Once that's done, let's go ahead and minimize this and go here to the original desktop. And I'm going to open up Notepad. So I'm going to go over here to Notepad and just move this up a little easier here. Click on edit, paste, and there's all the information. So now I can save this to a text file on the computer because we're going to need to turn that into the instructor. So file, save, and let's go ahead and give it a name here. Lab number 4 in BSA Scan. And just click over here to my computer, the local disk, and you'll see security strategies down here. Let's go ahead and save it there. Click on save. All right, now you don't need this anymore. And you can click on the file transfer button up there to download that file you just saved, and you'll need that for turn-in. And let's go ahead and go over to the other workstation here. We can close this out. We don't need this anymore. And we're done with the lab now, and it wants you to close it out, but I like to log off. So let's go over to log off, and that will go ahead and get you off, and it will shut down the actual machine here. So close this out, and that's the end of our tutorial.
Well, I hope that tutorial was helpful. If you have any recommendations or suggestions, please leave a comment down below. Hit that like button and send an email to charlie.tutorials@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.